For this video, we drove into Toronto after crossing into Canada near the Port Huron border, crossing in Michigan, and then drove across the vast Canadian farmland areas into the city of Toronto. Toronto's weather was way warmer than usual. On this day, it was 33 degrees Fahrenheit. It snowed lightly for the several days we were in Toronto, but it never got below 23 degrees at night. Typically, this time of year, it's closer to 15 degrees. Toronto sits at the edge of Lake Ontario. Everybody we talked to said they couldn't remember the last time Lake Ontario wasn't frozen during winter. We'll begin the driving tour of Toronto in a minute, but we'll preface it by trying to draw whatever generalizations we could surmise after 3 days in Canada's largest city. It's very modern, clean, and diverse. All over downtown are newish looking condos, which dominate the Toronto skyline. We only saw one police officer the entire time we walked the city, and outside of a few sketchy homeless people, I saw no problems to speak of. We also spent a lot of time staring out the window at Toronto's crown jewel, the CN Tower. This building is 1,800 feet tall, and every hour it goes through a rapid light transition show which lasts close to 10 minutes. We'll begin this driving tour of Toronto on King Street in the center of downtown, and then drive the perimeter. This is Front Street on the far south side of downtown Toronto, which abuts Lake Ontario on the right. Toronto's population is very diverse. Nearly half the population is considered European. About a third of the population is Asian, and 10% are black. According to the official census numbers, only 1% of the population is Arab. But that number seems really low, according to the numbers I saw on the ground. Perhaps they are not long-term residents. Toronto's overall population is close to 3 million people, putting it just about the same size as Chicago, our third largest city here in the US. Toronto is a very walkable downtown, evident by the look of its residents. While 2/3 of all Canadian residents are considered at least overweight, here in Toronto, you hardly ever saw somebody overweight. Walking around, the fashion's very dark colored. Most people have on various shades of black or dark gray. Most men wear skinny jeans, and just about everybody has their pants tucked into their boots. Doc Martens are very popular, at least from what I saw looking around. This is the financial district in Toronto, where most of the large business offices are located. Half of the largest companies in the entire country are located in this one district alone. Toronto is home to the Canadian headquarters of many large banking and technology companies, including Apple, Coke, Citibank, Google, McDonald's, Microsoft, and Intel. Now we're going to make a left and head west into Old Chinatown, located towards the northern end of the metro downtown area. Toronto has many Chinatowns, but this one is Old Chinatown, which makes it better Chinatown. While out on a stroll in Chinatown one evening, I made 3 purchases: a selfie stick, which I would later use to film this drive, a candy bar from a CD shop, which was surprisingly very easy to obtain, and dim sum. Dinner took place at Dim Sum King on Dundas Street. It was very good, and I ordered too much. I wound up putting my dumpling in my pocket for later. While at Dim Sum, I also spotted a fellow social media superstar, an Asian TikTok star named Kinda Korean, which would also be a great name for a Korean barbecue food truck. Canada is actually officially a bilingual country, with English and French the official languages. Some of the first European settlers here were French, and the French culture still impacts Canada today. While here, I also tried Poutine, a French dish which consists of gravy, cheese, and French fries. Now we'll take a turn into the Kensington Market neighborhood of Toronto. Kensington Market is a walkable bohemian neighborhood that draws artists and tourists to its indie shops, vintage boutiques, and art spaces. The market is home to a wide array of specialty grocers, bakeries, and cheese shops. Hipsters frequent trendy bars, cafes, and international restaurants that range from casual to fine dining. Students and families populate Victorian houses along tree-lined streets. That was borrowed from Wikipedia. Now, one final street we'll visit is Queen Street West. This goes west to east through the heart of downtown Toronto.
Did you know Queen Elizabeth is still in charge of Canada?
Oh, hey, Mappy. We have some major catching up to do. But in regards to your comment, technically speaking, Queen Elizabeth is still the Queen of Canada. Canada is both a constitutional monarchy and a federal parliamentary democracy, with the Queen as the head of state. Canada was once a colony of Britain, but unlike many of England's other colonies, Canada never experienced a sharp, clean break with the motherland. Though Canada now has a full political independence from the UK, the British monarchy is still part of the Canadian political system to this day. As such, technically, Queen Elizabeth owns like 90% of all Canadian land, and a lot of the money here in Toronto has Queen Elizabeth on it. So now you know. So that's our tour of Toronto. Hope you learned something. Now back to the US of A, where we cross over Niagara Falls and head into Buffalo. That video is coming up next. Hey guys, if you learned something new or you just like this video, make sure to like it. And if you really like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get all of our videos about what it's like to live in different places in America. Peace.